Well, thank you everyone for coming today to Happy Arbor Day. I can't appreciate you all enough for being here. I'd like to start off by welcoming my fellow council members, so please join me. Vice Mayor Chuck Page, Councilmember Tina Walia, Councilmember Yan Zhao, and Councilmember Cookie Fitzsimmons. Just want to, it's all of us that make this thing happen, not a single one of us, and just want to say we're really happy to be here to celebrate Arbor Day. Are there any commissioners here? If you do, please rise and we'll say hi. That's all. Yeah.
Library and Arts Commissioner Jerry Bromley.
Thank you, Jerry. I also want to take a moment to thank the museum, the board of the museum. So if you are on the board, please raise your hand or stand up. These folks on a regular basis, whether it's and the docents as well, whether it's volunteering on weekends for random folks that walk on in. They actually have a lot of programming during the week as well to bring in elementary school kids and actually give them a taste of the city's history. At the blacksmith exhibit, at the schools over here, they do a tremendous amount of work to preserve Saratoga's history, and it's all on a volunteer basis. And so I cannot thank all of you enough, because what you do is so important, and the fact that we have a museum is because of all of your efforts. So thank you very much. Arbor Day is a really special day. It's a day where we plant a new tree and we honor that tradition, a tradition that goes back a very long time, not just in this country, but in many parts of the world. I grew up being taught that planting a tree is one of the greatest acts of charity. And that's something I didn't fully understand until I got older. And I think that's because trees represent so much. They provide shade, they provide beauty. Frankly speaking, they're here longer than us many of the times. This tree is probably older than the city, which was incorporated in 1956. And so we really have an incredible tree canopy here in Saratoga. And that is not by mistake or by accident. That's the result of a lot of hard work of past council members, of folks that have worked really hard, whether it's former Mayor Jill Hunter, who's sitting here in the front, or our city staff who work diligently to make sure that if and when a resident or anyone is making any changes to their home, that we're keeping our tree canopy and our trees in mind. That's not something that comes easy. And so I really appreciate that. One thing I'd like to do is actually acknowledge that we're acknowledging Arbor Day today, but we're also recognizing that this year is the 18th year that Saratoga is being recognized as a Tree City USA. So let's give a round of applause for that. I've probably wasted a lot of your time telling this story before, but I moved to Dubai for a little bit, and when I first came back 6 months after moving there, my dad picked me up from the airport. I remember we exited off 85, and this is after I grew up here, and I looked up and I was like, wow. After living in the desert for a while, I was like, I never realized how green and beautiful it is here in Saratoga. Just looking up and seeing the mountains, looking up and seeing all the trees, we're very blessed and lucky to have so much of that. Today's also a really special day because we're planting a tree in honor of Arbor Day, and the tree that we're planting is one in line with us being at the museum today, an acknowledgement and recognition of the city's agricultural roots, and planting a Blenheim apricot tree. And so that is a Blenheim that is a fruit and a variety that is unique and distinct to our city, our region, and our weather was especially well accustomed to planting that. And so it is a really incredible thing that we have. Before we proceed with planting this fully and taking it forward, I do want to pause for a second and present this proclamation for Arbor Day to Annette Stransky, who's the president of the museum. Here, Annette, actually? Yeah, there we go. This way.
That.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Annette works tirelessly here for everyone on behalf of the city, as anyone who's on the board or volunteers at the museum knows. She does a tremendous amount of work. We have the Blossom Festival coming up on May 17th, and every year Annette and the entire board are doing a ton of work to make sure that our residents and everyone's made aware of that. Before we get to planting this tree, one of my favorite quotes from scripture is that not a leaf falls that a higher power doesn't know about. And it's just a really beautiful, I think, acknowledgement of just in a way, can all feel like predestined or written sometimes, but it's also not predestined or written. You have to look after it and care for it. And so I'm deeply grateful to all of you, and I hope you go and you plant a tree today.